the collective experiences of African people in this country has gone from chains to nooses to now knees. Yes, collectively. That has been the lowest part of the experience, or the lowest parts of the experiences of African people in this nation right here. From chains to nooses to knees. And it's not just physical, it's also psychological and also mental and emotional. But for some people, and they also experience microaggressions, which is akin to and tied to racism. That is not just the overt racism, the subtle racism, but also the microaggressions that come into play. That's tied to the stereotypes, tied to all of the lies, the defamation, all of the slander, all the libel that comes into play with regards to African people in this nation. That the foundation of this nation is tied to African people. Again, part of the sickness of racism. Racism is not logical. Understand this. Racism is not logical, it's illogical. Jim Crowism is illogical. All of that, illogical. Segregation is all illogical. All illogical, but people who engage in that get mad and go fuming outrageously when you now give them one sliver of truth. Those agents for Jim Crowism, segregation, racism, when you give them truth, when you speak truth to their false power, they go fool, they go ballistic, they lose their minds and engage in their lies. Like, for example, someone says white privilege is akin to calling someone the N-word. That's an insult to anyone who knows the story, who is real. See, that's what they make up stuff to now address. And I got to throw out there some champions that I got mad respect for and love for what they did. There was a gentleman who contacted me on yesterday about someone who had put out, again, something on privilege regarding oppressed people. They were mad, a group of them. And now it's not just that person, it's several of them here in Chatham County upset like that, promoting the falsehood, the lies. Because again, remember I told you about the sliver of truth. When you give it to them, they go ballistic. They lose their freaking minds. So that's what occurs. So people began to address them. Finally, good people now addressing them about the privilege, which must be acknowledged. So the person said, I sent the information to you and sent it to some other people. I'm not going to call the person's name out. So what I did my due diligence and then informed Alderwomen Estella Shabazz, Alderwoman Kesha Gibson-Carter, Alderwoman Alicia Miller-Blakely, Alderwoman Benetta Bryant-Lanier. Then I went and tagged the rest of the aldermen who are my friends on Facebook, and also the mayor. As soon as I sent the text message out, Alderwoman Shabazz contacted me immediately as I was walking around the lake, right, like I'm doing now. Contacted me immediately to find out what was going on. Yeah, she wanted to know. As a leader, she did her due diligence. At the same time, Alderwoman Kesha Gibson-Carter, my champion, one of the people I love from Savannah High School, my champion, she contacted me, sent me a text message and said, I'm going to investigate this. I'm going to have an investigation done to find out, ascertain the truth about this right here. Being responsible, due diligence. And then our mayor Van Johnson, our brother, he went the same thing. Those are the type of leadership that we're supposed to have. Oh, why did I say that? Because there's some other leaders here in Chatham County, Georgia, who engage in the same lies like the person who put it out, or excuse me, who posted it, who got caught. You heard what I just said? That there's some elected officials right here in Chatham County who supported that foolishness also and posted the same information too. And it's not just elected officials, appointed officials, and even leaders, community leaders here. So I did three fingers because it's all false. Community leaders here also did the same thing. But here going Savannah, we had elected officials who stood up to find out the truth. I got to applaud them for that. And I throw this out there to you all. George Floyd's situation in Minneapolis, as I told folks, could have probably been turned a little bit if the folks there who were watching what was going on, if they had the numbers to the chief of police, to the mayor, to the council members, that then call them at the same time that was happening and say, hey, listen, you got the police here, your servants, your employees are killing a black man right now. See, but that's what happened with communities that are disenfranchised. You don't understand how to not regain power or to get power. You want people to tell you what to do. We say, no, we tell you what to do because we are the leaders here. We are your bosses. The citizens are the bosses. So that's why I say folks could have, as opposed to attacking a girl with a video who was doing a video, she did her due diligence. The rest of the adults who were standing around should have been able to call the leadership in Minneapolis and do something about it. I'm not absolving those officers because that was absolutely wrong. But I'm saying to all of us, we need to have the numbers, the contact information for all our elected officials. So when something's going on, we call them immediately to let them know what's happening. That we show no fear. See, because that's what oppressed people happens for oppressed people. You are fearful. In your own little world, you can be bad, but then in this big world of the oppressors, you act small. So I'm saying to my champions, I'm so happy that you all stood up. And to the brother who sent me the information, I'm so glad that you stood up to send it out there so we can address it. And to those elected officials who are who feel that way, have the sentiments about the people who are oppressed, the people of color, how can you truly represent them in Boll Weevil Hill? And some of y'all know where Boll Weevil Hill is located at. How can you truly represent them? And they need to get you out of office and all others like you. That's what needs to happen. They need to be off of all the boards. So I say to my champions, Kesha Gibson-Carter, Councilwoman, the Honorable Kesha Gibson-Carter, the Honorable Estella Shabazz, the Honorable Van Johnson, thank you for being the champions that we need here in this day at this time. Peace and blessings.